This is Plant-Based Briefing, Lunchbox Tips, Tricks, and Ideas for Back to School by Dreena Burton at forksoknives.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of this curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based, compassionate, and eco-friendly living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And while today's episode is about lunchbox ideas for back to school, these ideas are really applicable for anyone who packs a lunch, child or adult. It's from forksoknives.com. They're an amazing resource full of pretty much anything to help people on their plant-based journey, whether you're just starting, whether you're just curious, whether you've been living a plant-based lifestyle for a long time. They have amazing recipes, education, the latest research, success stories, and of course the world-famous documentary Forks Over Knives, which you can watch for free on YouTube, or you can also find it at forksoknives.com as well. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Lunchbox Tips, Tricks, and Ideas for Back to School by Dreena Burton at forksoknives.com. This is an excerpt adapted from Plant-Powered Families by Dreena Burton. These tips and ideas will arm you with so many ideas for healthy lunches and hopefully shake up any lunchbox ruts. Readers ask me all the time, what do you give your girls for school lunches? Now you have the answers. Packing lunches, the process. Once you have a routine complete with simple recipes and weekly staples, packing lunches becomes much easier. For parents working outside the home, these tips are just as handy for packing your own lunches. Here are some strategies that I find useful. Pick a packing time. When are you most productive? Morning, night? Find a convenient time and make it a habit to prepare lunches at that time. One exception, if packing hot soups or similar in a thermos, pack those the morning of school. Lunchbox logistics, containers, and storage. You will need an arsenal of lunchboxes or meal-sized food storage containers, especially if you're making lunches for several children. I find it's useful to have a variety of sizes and shapes. For example, larger square containers for wraps, sandwiches, pasta, quinoa, veggie burgers, hot dogs, and other main lunch foods. Small to medium containers for muffins and other baked goods. Small to medium containers for fruit, veggies, and other smaller snacks. Small containers for sauces and dips. Thermos containers if using for heated or chilled foods, and water bottles. There are many types, from individual containers to compartmentalized lunch kits made from stainless steel, BPA-free plastics, and other materials. I opt for inexpensive but practical BPA-free containers like those made by Ziploc and Glad. They're durable enough to last a while, but also inexpensive enough to replace frequently misplaced tops and bottoms. Thinking ahead. It's very useful to batch cook staples like grains, beans, and potatoes, and also recipes like dips, soups, and muffins. When possible, double or triple recipes that you know are in heavy lunch rotation to ease your food prep through the week. Lunchovers. Don't discard a leftover spud or a modest amount of hummus. Instead, think, what can I do with it? Leftovers make some of the best lunch add-ins. I call them lunchovers. Kids love to nibble on a variety of foods anyway, and I find these small amounts are perfect for wrap and sandwich fillings and pasta and rice bowls. Once you think beyond just sandwiches with a spread like PB&J, there's really so much you can do. Kid picks. Give your kiddos some input. Occasionally ask them what they'd like packed in their lunchbox. If there's time, they can help pack. If not, they will still enjoy knowing they helped conceive it. Hummus is a food group. This is one of my mantras. Jokingly, yes, but in reality I do use hummus like it's a food group. I use not just traditional hummus, but all flavor variations that use different beans and seasonings. We love it as a family, and I enjoy creating different flavor variations. Some tips. 1. Make it yourself. Not only is it less expensive, but it also tastes far better. Most store-bought varieties have a noticeable citric acid taste or are too spicy for kids. Make it fresh, and you will also be able to adjust the seasonings as you like. Number 2, make large batches. 3, refrigerate a portion, then freeze the remaining in portioned containers. Hummus freezes and thaws brilliantly. And number 4, make hummus a meal. It's not just for dipping with pitas and veggies. Find some hummus recipes linked here. You can try hummus as a sandwich spread, on toast topped with avocado, in wraps with veggies and other favorite fillings, as a base layer on pizzas, mixed with hot grains such as rice or into hot pasta, dolloped on potatoes or sweet potatoes, spooned in the center of pitted dates for a snack, spread on rice or popcorn cakes for a snack, thinned with a little water for salad dressing, thinned and mixed through hot pasta or as a sauce for raw noodles like zucchini, as a dip for steamed and roasted vegetables, layered in lasagna or other casseroles, in grilled hummus sandwiches, tucking in a few slices of avocado after heating, and spread in tortillas with spicy seasoning and cooked fajita style. Grain bowls. Many vegetarian restaurants have some sort of Buddha bowl where hot rice is topped with steamed tofu or tempeh, then covered with an irresistible sauce. You can recreate something similar at home using quinoa, millet, or brown rice. Add some favorite veggies or even fruits like chopped grapes or berries, along with any other nutrient-dense add-ins like hemp seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, beans, tempeh cubes, etc. Add a zippy sauce and pack in a thermos or an airtight container with a fork or spoon to go. Pasta bowls. Much of what you can do with a grain bowl works equally well for leftover pasta. Cut shapes like rotini or penne work best for lunches. Soups that make a meal. If your kids enjoy soups at school, cook a batch or two every week that can be worked into lunches. If you don't have time to make soups, there are some healthy store-bought varieties. When I use store-bought soups, I always add extra beans, pasta, tofu, grains, or vegetables. They make the soup more satisfying and nutritious and also stretch one can over several kiddos. Sauces. Kids love to dip and dunk, so pack small containers filled with some of their favorite sauces. All these sauces can also be used to mix into whole grains or pasta along with veggies, seeds, beans, tofu, etc. A sauce can turn something fairly ordinary into something extraordinary, so have a few in your arsenal. Sandwiches, savory and sweet. Using whole grain and sprouted breads and also whole grain pita breads and tortilla wraps, try these ideas. For savory, hummus and bean dips layered with veggies or on their own, chickpeas or white beans mashed with favorite condiments. Use a mini food processor to quickly pulse beans into a mash. Leftover potatoes sliced and layered with veggies or avocado, and leftover veggie burgers, whole or chopped or mashed. Wraps. Our girls love wraps. They're easy to eat, can be filled with some of their favorite ingredients, and are also individualized. Think of using leftover grains, bean spreads and dips, potatoes, sweet potatoes, nut or seed butters, chopped or grated veggies, nutritional yeast, refried beans or baked beans, and cubed tofu or tempeh. Then if your kiddos love things like olives or pickles, you can chop some up and add to their individual wrap. They will love it. Use whole grain tortillas, or if your kids love nori, wrap fillings in those, but don't overstuff. Breakfast for lunch. Some children love to have some breakfast foods like pancakes, French toast, or oatmeal. Quick fixes. You don't have to make everything from scratch. Busy parents need some quick fixes with store-bought items as well. If you're fortunate, you might have a health food store with a bakery or deli that offers some plant-based baked goods, salads, dips, and other lunch items. Other quick lunchbox options include energy bars, like Lara bars if nuts are permitted, bean dips or hummus, whole organic fruit bars, unsweetened applesauce cups, whole grain crackers, popcorn and brown rice cakes, toasted seaweed snacks, kale and zucchini chips, seasoned pumpkin and sunflower seeds, dried fruit, whole grain cereals to eat dry, granola, opt for ones with less sweeteners, popcorn, roasted chickpea snacks, and raw cookies, for example macaroons. Quick homemade snacks. Some homemade snacks are just about as quick to pack as a store-bought snack. Here are examples of snacks that don't require baking or cooking, just quick assembling. Fruit. Sliced fruit with nut butter or hummus for dipping. Popcorn or rice cakes spread with seed or nut butter. Pitted dates filled with nut butter, cashew cheese, or hummus. Whole grain cereal mixed with seeds or nuts. Whole grain crackers with hummus or nut butter. Frozen edamame, simply cover in boiling water for a few minutes, drain, and sprinkle with salt. Baby carrots with a dip of choice, like nut butter, hummus, etc. Or leftover cooked potatoes or sweet potatoes, halved and sprinkled with sea salt. Fruits and veggies. Always include fruits and veggies in your kids' lunch boxes. I like to include a whole piece of fruit, like an apple, peach, or pear, and also some smaller cut pieces, especially for veggies. Fruit is plant-powered fast food. It's easy to eat, and most children love finger fruits like grapes, strawberries, and blueberries. But other fruits like cubed melon, plums, kiwi wedges, which the kids can eat like an orange, and half a mango scored are welcome changes. Try replacing raisins with other dried fruit such as apple slices, mango, or apricots. Choose unsulfured and organic whenever possible. Also, try making it easier for kids to eat these fruits. Sometimes they only have 10 or 15 minutes to eat. So peel and segment their oranges, put cubes of melon or pineapple in a small container, and pack a fork. Add cut grapes to their nut or seed butter sandwiches instead of jam, and make veggies convenient too, for example, baby carrots, cherry tomatoes, sliced bell peppers, and sliced cucumbers. You just listened to Lunchbox Tips, Tricks, and Ideas for Back to School by Dreena Burton at forksoverknives.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, your host, and these are some great ideas. Nothing unusual, but just different ways to think about what to pack in lunches. As always, I put a link to the original post in the show notes, and there are links to recipes for many of the things that she had mentioned as well. And Dreena's website has amazing recipes as well, and she's got some fantastic cookbooks too that I highly recommend. Check her site out at dreenaburton.com. That's DREENABURTON. So check that out, and please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.